Good morning, America. Again, this is for the newcomers, and there is plenty that are joining with over 2,000 hits on that on my last videos. So this is my public statement. I'm not an FBI agent, even though that 4 of them visited me already for being accurate in predicting terrorist attacks. This is just to show my intention, my drive to teach you the cosmic laws. So I am a spiritual teacher, I am a soul doctor, and I am a cosmic cop. If that can help you to understand why I wear a FBI hat. All right, about a month now, I had surgery on my shoulder. And believe me, that was and still very painful. And I'm also preparing myself to finish my Master Captain course in Key West, Florida. And to do so, I had to do a bunch of paperwork, and one of them was to become basically educated enough so I can save people. So I had my test, passed my test yesterday for the Red Cross. So this means I'm going to help people mentally, save people, believe me. So people needs a lot of help mentally, especially with what's going on, what we went through with COVID and now the war with Ukraine and Russia. So a lot of these people need help. So now I'll be able to save people on my own boat if somebody got a heart attack or God knows what. I've been trained. That is the second time that I took this course, and it was pretty painful with my shoulder, but I didn't want to wait, so I had to do it. So it was a test for me of endurance and will to do so, but it's done. So I just wanted to let you know. Since I'm a public person and you want to know what's going on in my life. Now, the title of this newsletter is called Volodymyr Zelenskyy versus Vladimir Putin, Battle to the Death. Believe me, it is a battle to the death. So since a lot of you have emailed me and said you really enjoyed my latest video, I decided to do pretty much the same. It's going to be a little bit more complicated today, but the way I teach, it's going to be easy for you to assimilate how God speaks through the sign and speaks to me, something that I translate to you on a regular basis. Now, again, if you watched my latest YouTube videos and if you read the newsletter, the title of this newsletter was Russia Invades Ukraine Predictions. My vision pertaining to shocking you, explosion, and nuke sudden enough came to pass. I know you don't want to hear anything that is negative, but the fact of the matter is, if you can read English, if you can read my keywords and the quatrain, you will realize why you're here watching me. You will realize that my UFO predictive legacy is solid and should be trusted. Remember, on the 22nd, when this happened, I had a newsletter that I shared. I shared a link to the FBI to send to the president, to dozens and dozens of anchors on CNN and Fox News. I even sent it to the government, making them aware that it will happen during my windows. The invasion took place during my windows again. And that include, of course, earthquakes at 6.0 or above. So I'm not trying to say, yeah, I'm the best Dr. Turin. I'm just trying to prove to you that when I give you a date, you pay attention. And most of all, you share it. This way you become part of the solution. Another interesting thing happened to me. Just in case you missed it, the links, I would say the links with the S of my latest radio show, should be only one, well, there was 2, is offered in the newsletter. Now, with so many Gemini in that show, it is not surprising that the duality are obvious, because it ends up with 2 radio shows instead of 1. Now, again, trying to pass on deep cosmic pieces of information about Mercury polarity. Well, that was a bit of a challenge for me, especially with one of the hosts called the Dell. Okay, now Gemini, i.e. Trump, is the king of conspiracy. Okay, and this sign is very argumentative, sometimes can be quite egocentric, and there's divisions, split, and in some cases animosity. So trying to educate some people, especially when you have four guys facing you, harassing you, bombarding you with a bunch of questions, educate them on the duality of the sign of Gemini, and three of them were Gemini. It's very hard to do it without offending their fragile ego. Sometimes it's even impossible, because I'm real, I'm honest, I'm to the point, I don't mess around, okay? So what is the most amazing experience I had with the host, the Dale, is that he is a Gemini, and he is totally and completely oblivious of what the sins and virtue of this sign is all about. So again, you cannot blame a young soul for being cosmic and conscious and for using his five limited logical, rational sense and his conspiratorial mind to delegate life in general. That's just the way it is. So in the newsletter, you have Mike Barra first hour, which was pretty short, and Mike Barra's second hour with Dr. Teresa. Those two links are there. It's one of the best ways for you to learn about the sign of Gemini. It's all in that show. So again, you're going to have some of my supporters, a lot of them send me an email cursing this guy. Then I just put one up there for you to realize that the person is definitely a supporter of mine and very intuitive. And the name is Sheila. Thanks for the feedback, Sheila, by the way. And all of you guys, thank you for supporting me. All right, now in that newsletter, we are going to do the stars and the fate of Vladimir Zelenskyy. And of course, we already took care of Putin yesterday. But since those two guys are by the stars and the cosmic wheel delegating with each other's, I have decided to do what you call a comparison chart. I usually do that for husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, relationship between a mother and her son or a daughter, which is very, very difficult. But I have decided to do it with those two big guys. Now, you have to remember that when you elect a president, you are now under the jurisdiction of these natal karmic stars. Okay? It's pretty much like a father in charge of his family. Okay, if his natal stars are negative, he's a pothead, he's a drunk, he plays around, okay, and he's got 4 or 5 kids, they end up going to jail. Okay, so he is in charge of the family. He is the president of the family because of his stars, and he's the bread maker. Now, because of his stars, the entire family, okay, will be forced to experience discord, drama, pain, sacrifice, and even death. There is some lunatic out there that kill their wife and their kids, and it goes the same with some women who are completely reptilian infected. So you can read again Trump stars and his legacy upon the world and the US, knowing he's a Gemini. Gemini split, divide. If you want to learn about astrology, you have to read, okay? And again, put aside your emotional values, put aside your conspiracy, put aside your deep emotions, okay, as I said, because in a battle between emotion and logic, emotion will always win, and you're going to lose by not learning that I am just an astrologer and I don't care about your political belief. If you like Trump, don't like Trump, the Clinton, again, Obama, I don't care. My job is to translate God's cosmic will, and I'll do that for you. And I'm going to show you today how important it is for you to pay attention to the oldest science in the world, which has been setting up, ridiculed, cast aside, and taken away from you. And that's why I'm here working. All right, so you're going to see in the newsletter the chart of Vladimir Putin and, of course, Volodymyr Zelenskyy, combined in one. So since I need this chart. What I'm going to do is like I did last time. I am going to go and bring it back. I'm going to bring it in the screen. So it should be there. You should see the chart in front of your eyes right now. And I'm asking you to keep an eye on the cursor. That is, when I do a reading with any of my clients, that is your GPS. Without this cursor, you could be completely lost. So just follow it and follow my voice as I'm going to raise a little bit more your cosmic consciousness. Now you could see Volodymyr Zelenskyy is the inner charge, which means inside, that is the president of Ukraine. And the out chart is Vladimir Putin, okay? That is the stars of Putin, and that is the stars of Zelenskyy. Again, I cannot spend hours like I do with any of my clients to guide you into the cosmic code and help you to understand the stars so that you can apply the part of God in you, which is stronger than your stars, your dragon, your black moon, and everything else, and control your stars, which can easily be manipulated by the reptilians like they do with Vladimir Putin and turn him into a killer using his stars. So let's start with the sun sign of Zelenskyy. He's an Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius is all about technology, the future of humanity, humanitarianism. Aquarius is the stars, UFO, the impossible, the incredible, freedom. Okay, but you can see he is on the cusp. He was born in January. Now, January was what? The goat climbing the mountain. January in Capricorn was politics. The goat who climbed to the top of the mountain. And once he's at the top of the mountain, he has the power. He becomes the president. And if he's infected, then he will do everything in his power to maintain the power like Trump did. That's why the Christian use the head of the goat as the head of the devil. Regardless of what the price is, I don't care if you die, I'm going to manipulate, I'm going to do everything in my power to keep the power. And if that means death, I will do so. That is the negative Capricorn. Remember, Hitler was born with the tail of the dragon in Capricorn. He had no business in politics, but the white German people are not cosmic conscious, and they elected him, and you see the result. All right, so he has the power of fortune in Capricorn. This means in many ways he's lucky. He's taking a chance to climb the mountain and to become the Capricorn. Suddenly enough, he has a fishtail and he's not using it because he's not cosmic conscious. There is a way to plan. You don't have just a physical calendar. You have a moon calendar, and he does not know. He is not cosmic conscious, unaware about the moon in our solar system. All right, then he has Mercury in Capricorn. Mercury is the mind, okay, the critical thinking. So his mind is very much into structure, engineering, building a name for himself, and becoming a top of the top of the top into the world of politics. And he ends up fulfilling his soul's purpose as a Capricorn, okay, in charge of a country. So Zelenskyy become the president of Ukraine, not by accident, but because a lot of work and got to his part of fortune and his Mercury Capricorn. I hope that makes sense. All right. In the second house of money, that's where he has the sun and Venus and the midheaven. The sun means, again, being altruistic, the original, okay, amazing, weird, like Dr. Tree, because I have a stallion like he has in Aquarius. I have more planet than we have in Aquarius. Venus means the arts, music, acting, dancing, and doing everything that he did to make money. And of course, that also involved television. Aquarius was electronics, UFO, the impossible, the incredible, astrology, and of course, television, including airplane. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, you could see in his mental process, he becomes a Pisces. Again, there is no energy in this house, but Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. So his mind is into movie, acting, the spirits, religion, spirituality. He's a Pisces. Pisces was religions, and that's why he's a Jew. Now you have the good fish and the bad fish. I cannot go there and explaining the karmic area, the most difficult area of the human experience. I cannot do that today. But you have the good fish and the bad fish, put it this way, for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, home sweet home. You can see that. That's the female. You see, that's the tail of the dragon, and that's the head. Okay. The tail of the dragon of Zelenskyy is in the home area. The home area is the domestic scenery, the Ukrainian people. It is the area of domesticity, traditionally ruled by cancer, home, family, real estate, food security. It has the tail of the dragon in this sign. And the tail of the dragon is in Aries. Aries is ruled and controlled by a planet called Mars, the red planet of blood. Okay. And this depicts why when you elect a president, you have to be prepared of suffering the stars. So when you look at it, Zelensky's tail of the dragon, being in Aries, he is a soldier. He is a warrior born. He is a leader. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. My head of the dragon is in Aries. I'm a leader of the mind. Aries is ruled by Mars again. That makes us competitive army like, and then Aries is aggressive, dangerous type of sign. That's why I had a broken nose, broke both of my hand, broke my shoulder, broke my pelvis. It's just crazy. I'm accident prone. So when you have that Aries, you're sure to have what it takes to take on basically the Russians at home. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Now Aries was Germany. Aries was Hitler was born in April, so it was easy for Hitler to bring the white German people to war, because being born in April, he was led by Mars, and he was born with the tail of the dragon in Capricorn, which means he was cold, calculated. He wanted the power. He did everything that he could to gain the power, pretty much like Vladimir Putin, by killing whomever, whatever. There you go. All right, so. Who is a Capricorn? I cannot pronounce his name, but he is working in the government right now, and he is in the transportation minister. He's a young kid. He's a Capricorn. Well, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 6 hours of work and service to Capricorn. Or like all politicians, they talk. Gemini is all about talking. Gemini is all about Mercury and communication. So you could see that on his house of work, he also has the moon in Gemini. So he's able to talk, he say jokes, he is fast. He has the same moon. No, that's Putin, excuse me. But when he faces the world, he has that Gemini energy. Okay. And when he works, he has that energy. And then he has Jupiter right there in Gemini. Okay. So he's like he is foreigners and foreign power in so many ways. Now let's look at some interesting area. We're going to look at his sun sign. In opposition to his sun sign, okay, Mars is in Leo. Saturn is in Leo. His moon is in Leo. The moon represents the home area. The moon represents is the 4th house. Okay, it represents all the Ukrainian people. You see Mars. This add to the negative energy that he has in the 4th house. And then Saturn, the responsibility. Saturn rules Capricorn. And it's all on Putin. You see the tail of the dragon? The tail of the dragon of Putin is in Leo. Leo is all about life. Leo is about love. Leo is about the stage, being famous, and children of all ages. When you have the tail of the dragon in Leo, like Putin, you are an egocentric. You are set by the stars to destroy life, especially when you have the black moon, the curse, and when you have Pluto, the planet of life and death in Leo. Okay, you're talking about the planet of death into the sign of love and light. Suddenly enough, the sign of love and light receives the tail, which means that's being unfamous, not famous, that's unfamous, and killing the hell of a lot of kids. And then you can see that's the 7th house. 7th house is open enemies. Okay, on the open enemies, Zelenskyy received the tail of the dragon of Vladimir Putin. That's why Vladimir Putin wants to kill him and his entire family. And the chance of doing so are pretty high because Mars is there. And then the 8th house of a Capricorn, I read it both sides because it's a dual sign. I don't want to confuse you. On the house of death, Capricorn never dies, okay? They live a long life. In fact, the Queen of England has also the tail of the dragon in Capricorn. That's why she never dies. And in many ways, that's the house of death. The house of death is in the sign of fame. And that could mean that Zelenskyy could be very, very famous in death. That's fame through death. And you could see the moon, all these supporters, all the Ukrainian people, okay, ready to take arms with him. You see Mars close to the moon. Okay, Mars is happy in the career. Mars is happy in a working area. He's not exactly happy close to the moon because it means fire, bombing, death, drama, destruction, the planet of war, very close to the moon. And then Saturn, the great malefic, also in the sign of Leo. Saturn means the drive for Zelenskyy to claim to power. But sad enough, this planet and Mars surrounded his moon, and then that is politics. That's Putin, and Mars, that's Putin, and in between is Ukraine and all the Ukrainian people. And all of this is on the tail, on the negative energy of Putin, which is born to destroy, to kill, to hurt. He is completely and entirely infected by the reptilians, and he does not know. But what's more interesting, look at this. Look at Putin. His sun sign is Libra, his Saturn is in Libra, Neptune is in Libra, Mercury is in Libra. So he has a stellium in Libra, which means he must learn the law and then teach the law and respect the laws. That is his soul's purpose. And instead, of course, he is not doing this because the dragon, the reptilians on his tail. Now, look, this is the tail of the dragon of Zelenskyy. The sun sign of Putin is in opposition to the 7th house. If you count 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 open enemies. So when you look at it, Vladimir Putin receives the tail of the dragon of Zelenskyy, and Zelenskyy received the tail of the dragon of Putin in the 7th house again, which is the public facing the world and open enemies. There is so much power in these charts. It's amazing that both of these guys were set by God himself to connect and try to kill each other. Now look at Putin, 1, 2, 3. He's got the planet of war, the red planet Mars, okay, in his mind, 1, 2, 3. Now he's a warrior, he's very aggressive, okay? And then when he faces the world, Putin is not a decent, intelligent, diplomatic Libra. He faces the world as an Aries, aggressive, war. And then the tail of the dragon of Zelenskyy has stimulated this crazy lunatic president infected by the reptilians to invade Ukraine. My little dog, new signal to pay attention. Now, there is no way that he's going to succeed. Mostly because you cannot go and fight against the entire world. Okay, so and then he's doing everything he can to own literally all the nukes in Ukraine. That is such a blackmail to the entire European community. I can blow up all those guys. Oh, I might just suffer too. Okay, but it's just a blackmail. I have the power. I can blow up all these things and blow all of you up. If he has nothing to lose now, it's dangerous. This is so freaking dangerous for the world. Okay, so it's pretty much when you look at his 2nd house of money. He's born in October, November, and he has the tail of the dragon in Scorpio. He has the sun, the rising in Scorpio. Okay, if you put a fire around the scorpion, before the fire gets him, it stings himself. That is the only thing that's going to survive a nuke attack. In other words, he is extraordinarily powerful, has no fear of death when you look inside, when he is cornered. As a rule, all the hotels have a fear of death. That's the rule, sign of love and light. The tail is in there. Now they're afraid of catching disease. They keep the president, French president, miles away from him. You have to remember, I told you, if you put your hand on my 2021 or 22 Nostradamus Dragon forecast, universal and personal predictions for all signs, everything that's happening now is on this book. It was written in August 2021, August 2022. I repeat myself, all the people that have a sun, a moon, a rising, a navel or hidden dragon in Scorpio will be affected directly by these dragons. So if you're born in May, same story, you have a moon, a dragon, a rising, natal or hidden in Taurus, you're going to be directly affected by this dragon. But if you do not know, it's very easy for those stars to override you and for the Draconis to take over, the reptilians to take over. The good news, I got to have a good news. I, from the bottom of my heart, don't think, because of the Galactic Federation of Grand Cosmic Order, that the Draconis would allow the reptilians to completely and entirely mess up the project. Let's put it this way. So I don't think, for the worst of the worst of the worst to happen, okay? I have a clear feeling that Putin will not succeed. He'll die either. They're not supposed to live long. People who are born with the tail of the dragon in Leo don't live long. And my younger brother, he died, he was 15 with the tail of the dragon in Leo. Okay. If you watch my movie on the superconscious in time and space, I also told you the reason and what happened with my brother and I. And one of the reasons why I don't look my age, it's all of that movie. If you didn't watch it, go and watch it. It's on my website, drturi.com. Go and watch this movie. All I'm trying to tell you, when Putin feels cornered by the entire European community, United States, and the entire world, that's where the scorpion, before the fire gets to him, is going to kill himself. And killing himself, he ain't going to go on his own. A lot of people that kill a lot of people before they die. Okay, or you see sometime an airline, an airplane that crashes, the pilot happens to be born with the tail of the dragon in Leo. He wants to die in fame. He wants to make fame regardless if he's doing it the right way or the wrong way. He doesn't want to die alone. And that's the scary part. And I hope, as I said, I hope in many ways that my intuition is right. So far, I have been right. The Draconis will not allow the reptilians to kill every one of us because of nuclear exchanges. Even though the United States is seriously prone to sudden release of energy, as represented with the surprise attack in Pearl Harbor, airplane and explosion, and 9/11, which I predicted 2 years before in great detail, again, airplane and explosion. America was born with the tail of the dragon in the sign of Aquarius. The good news, President Biden is also a Scorpio, okay? And he has the head of the dragon in Leo, not the tail, the head, like Obama. That's why he doesn't want to tap on his tail. He does it subconsciously, because delegating with nukes and involving airplane is tapping on his tail. Subconsciously, he knows it's wrong, and it's gonna land this crazy guy to press the button, okay? And nobody wins. And Putin will have to be totally, completely extinguished. So either he's going to die of a heart attack because of the stress he's enduring. Maybe the Draconis are going to do something to keep him out of the way. Or most importantly, the destruction will take place from the inside out, meaning the younger generation in Russia, they don't want to die. They don't want this mess. They know what's going on outside. They want love, light. They want diplomacy. They want peace. So the cancer is pretty much like I said in my X video, that Putin just played Russian roulette. The point is there was a bullet in there. Now, is he going to go on his own, or he's going to take a lot of us with it, or all of us? That is the question. I'm asking you again to be part of the solution. Please share my video Okay, it's very important that you share this information. There is 2 SOS to the world deadly window in that newsletter. Okay, I give 2 specific dates. I will bring those windows in the next 2 or 3 days. The first one, okay, all the information on the video up on the top of the newsletter, and I will start to put my vision taking place. And when this window is up, I will bring it down and bring the other SOS to the world, which will be pretty much the beginning or the end of important phases of life as far as this war is concerned. So it's all in the newsletter. Please share it. And one more time, there is a button in my newsletter that says, support my mission. Do this for me. Click on the link, support my work if you feel in any way, shape, or form that I am here to guide you and to help you. And in time like now, well, it's so critical. We might just go any days, all of us. It's important to be positive and to believe that the higher force will take us out of this trouble, out of this nightmare, and Putin will be erased on his own. All right, my good friend, I will take this opportunity one more time to thank you. To thank you very much for your trust in my work. Don't lose hope, and remember, the future is nothing else than the reincarnation of your thought. If you did not see my movie just yet, it's time to watch this movie and share it. Be careful of your thought. We don't want to face the worst of what an evil person, an infected soul like Putin could do to all of us. Until then, and hopefully see you soon. Bye-bye.